computer. Okay. Jan, can you hear us?
Yeah.
No, he's muted.
He's on mute.
To the lower left.
He's muted. I need to mute him.
Hello? Hello?
All right, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Who
Okay.
is the host this evening? Is it Mike or is it Frank from IT?
Where would, I don't know.
No,
Where
you're
would I
not
see
doing
that?
that.
Lisa?
Okay.
Lisa, it's Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. Okay.
Hi.
Okay. I texted Frank and Mike and saying, who is the host?
Oh my God, I was gonna text you, but then I saw you went away, so I didn't know. I don't know,
Okay,
but it's me.
no problem. And we have a quorum, so it's okay.
No,
I'm here.
Oh, yeah,
Chris is here, okay.
Chris is on.
All right.
So, okay, because that's where we were trying to fix stuff, so, I don't know if you guys can see us, but we can, just see that Jan and Chris and the host are on right now, so.
We could see you.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you at the, club, Chris?
I'm on the golf course. Yeah, the men's league.
Are you?
How you handle?
Not good.
No.
Watching my video, huh?
You can do whatever you want.
Are you ready? All right, guys, let's get this, we'll get this going so we get Chris back to concentrate on what he needs to. We'll call the meeting of the Crestbrook Park Golf Course Subcommittee to order at 6:05. Okay, roll call, Ken Rosa.
Chris Martin.
And,
All right, and,
Pat Rinaldi, called out, there was a death, so.
oh, there's Mike. Mike's here now.
Mike, we're all set. I don't know if you can hear us.
All right, nobody for public participation, I take it, right? Okay, we will move on
No
to.
public participation.
We will move on to approval of minutes from the April 1st meeting. I will make a motion to accept the meetings of April 1st, 2021.
I second that.
Chris, Ken and Chris?
That's all we got.
That's it. That's everything we have. So without anybody, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's back to where I was. We'll go back to correspondence. Oh, the May 6th meeting was canceled due to lack of quorum. We have in here a tournament request, but we'll get to that later on. And we have two. Oh, St. Mary Magdalene. Oh, we have two. Why do we have two? We'll get to it later on in new business. Reports, golf course subcommittee chairman, that's myself. Season's in full swing. Weather's been good and when it's good. It's been great when it's great. It's been real rainy when it hasn't been. I'm hearing good things. And of course, looked great this week. Even after Tuesday night, after 2.5 days of rain, I thought the course was very dry considering. When the guy I played against played 18 Tuesday afternoon. He walked the back nine and he says it was in great shape and he expected the bottom nine to be a little wetter and it wasn't bad at all. So, kudos to the guys for getting things cleaned up and keeping it rolling. That's really about all I have. It's just a great year. Let's just keep it going. So we'll move to the Park and Rec Director's report. For Crestbrook.
Yes. So, I know Jan and the guys up there have been very, very busy. Just to give you some stuff that's going to be going on up at the park itself, not just the golf course, but at the park. The swimming pool is getting acid washed on this Saturday. Once that cures, it'll be painted and filled. We're anticipating to open up the pool on approximately June 17th or 18th. The town-owned public tennis courts at the park are scheduled to be, power washed this weekend at some point. And then they're gonna start rehab on Monday. They're gonna be totally over rehab. They're gonna be shut down for a couple weeks. We have some signs going up that they're gonna be shut down. The path from the upper parking lot to the pool, from the parking lot for the tennis courts and the pavilion, they're gonna start taking down the trees beginning the following week, not this coming Monday, the following week. It was pushed back a little bit because of the vendor, but they're gonna start taking out a lot of trees that were kind of critical, that they were gonna fall on everywhere between the cars and the restaurant. So it's mostly a safety factor, but there's gonna be a lot of trees removed on that hill. And that hill is gonna be opened up so you can walk in the upper parking lot. And it's gonna be like a snake coming down the hill to get to the swimming pool. It has to be in compliance. Yes, because it's very steep. The other big projects, there's a couple more things going on. Another big project is in the approved budget starting July 1st, is we have the money to replace the roof on the restaurant. It should be going out to bid anytime after like the 1st of July. And obviously we're gonna have to work around the restaurant schedule, but it is on the agenda to have that replaced. And that is a big deal because it really needs to get done. And my first choice is gonna be metal if we can afford it. I'm hoping we can afford it. I don't know, it depends. Prices of everything have gone up, they've skyrocketed, so we don't know what's gonna happen. So maybe make a table for a little while to get what we want up there. I'd love to get the metal if we can afford it. I'm trying to think of what else is going on. So you got the pool, you got the restaurant, you got the path, you got the tennis courts. Thank you. We used 4 golf carts the other day from the course for the parade. It worked out very well. The park guys went up early in the morning and got them back up there so they could be used. And, as soon as the parade was over, they got them back up there. Jan, I haven't talked to you, but Monday was kind of iffy. It kind of started raining. It was kind of yucky. I was going packing up my daughter from UConn, getting her home Monday afternoon. As soon as the parade was done, I was up at stores, so I wasn't around. But did you have any people take up the offer on free golf for the service people?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
we had a few. It wasn't a huge number, but we did have some people take advantage of the military comp round on Memorial
So
Day.
that's good then.
Yeah, the weekend, obviously that was the weather really impacted business levels. Saturday obviously was a washout. Sunday actually Sunday was the washout. Saturday we did a few rounds, and then Monday we actually had a decent day. Obviously that was the best of the weather. So, but yeah, not too many. But we did have, the afternoon was the better part of the day, so we did have some play, which was good. Too bad we were really set up to have a banner weekend.
This weekend.
90s.
This weekend is gonna be the opposite. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody's already, planning on doing some outdoor activities. Definitely gonna be warm. It's gonna be in the 90s, but I guess, just having the sun out there is gonna be big.
Yeah, it is. This is
So,
just extra copies.
I hope we have a good weekend.
I do too. I think it's gonna be warm. I know like in our case with the swimming pool and stuff, he wants to get in there at 6 o'clock. He's gonna start doing the work at the swimming pool at 6. So he can get out of there before it starts getting really, really hot, because it's the last thing you want to be doing on a hot 90-degree day is working inside that area. So, but hopefully it's gonna make up for lost time last weekend, so.
You done? Oh, you're done, okay. She's done, okay, so we'll move on to the golf foreman superintendent.
You have Ray's report.
Yep, I have Ray's, I will raise this short and brief and quick, and I'll read it in. This is from Ray Marks. Course is doing great other than the weather, keeping everything wet. Greens are healthy. We are aerating and we are starting on tees when time allows. We are very short staffed, so we're doing our best. Joe, the mechanic, is doing great, but it'll take a minimum about a year to start to get a grasp on everything he needs to know. It's going to be a tough year, but we will be fine. Greens are healthy because they did aerate them a couple weeks ago, and I'm assuming he means they're going to start aerating the tees as soon as time allows. So we will then, that's ready to report. I'll give that back to you. So we'll move on to the golf pros report, Jan.
Well, let me just reiterate. I think I'm in complete agreement. The golf course, I think, is in great condition, even considering all the recent rain that we've had. The greens, obviously, some of the equipment additions that we've acquired over the past year or so is certainly impacting the quality of the condition. Having a new, a new greens mower is going to certainly help us with the conditions, and certainly is. So I think that's a huge plus. Business levels are still strong. Looking at the numbers for the end of the month there for the start of the season, I looked at comparative numbers for 2019, 2020, and this year, and we're seeing significant increases in business levels, even with, less, we used to do the specials and so forth with the hot dog deal. It really hasn't had any real, not having that hasn't really impacted business at this point. So we're seeing a sizable increase in sales, upward of $60,000 right now, currently over 2019 and 2020. So I think we're positioned to really, continue the momentum that we had last year with all the new golfers coming out and continuing to, come to the golf course, be that outdoor activity. I think during the week, maybe, I have noticed a little bit of a slowing of some rounds, but so far I feel like it's we're still continuing on a great path here. So definitely looks favorable. I mean, as far as the horizon things to look at, we do kind of need some help, I think, with some of the floor in the cart storage. It is getting really unlevel. So that would be one thing that I want to put on the radar. Maybe we could have something done and level that out. It is kind of getting to be, it collects a lot of water in the beginning, in that first entry portion of the of that cart storage area. So that might be something that I would want to put on the radar for. Maybe we can get some gravel to just level that out and improve that. I thought that was something that was I wanted to mention. The landscape over the past month, we did have Sue Holloway that volunteered her time, and Lisa was gracious with the supplies that she needed, the preen, and she also requested some mulch, but just really the beautification of in and around the pro shop area. I think we made some good improvements there. It really looks really nice, and it hadn't been done in a couple of years. I know it was never really, a real important area, so to speak. But I mean, I think it just looks beautiful this year. So I thought that was exceptional that she.
What's nice about it is they're all perennials, so they come back every year. But since the ladies' league kind of folded, nobody's been taking care of it. So it was really nice to hear somebody was going to do it.
Yeah, she really enjoyed doing it, and we
she did a great job.
She really did a great job. She really did an awesome job. So, I mean, as far as the facility, though, I think all in all, I think we're positioned in good shape for the season. So continuing with what we're doing, and hopefully we just keep the business levels going. That's really the main thing, is really just being able to keep the people coming. We obviously, I'm getting my staff to be really cognizant to make sure that they're taking down all the pertinent information, So we're continuously building our database, for the future. So that could be used, I think, down the road here in the next month or so, for some potential online blast specials. So, it's really a professional reservation that we do now with, I don't know if you noticed, but if you do make a tea time now, we send you off a real professional email that says, hey, this is, this is your tea time, please arrive. It really looks great. And it makes our job, I let the staff understand and know that it makes my job easier and everybody's job easier, the better we collect this information on the phone daily. So it speeds up the phone volume, which has been through the roof. I mean, our phone systems right now are, it's nonstop all day long. It's ringing. So a host of questions. We still have, a lot of people that are accustomed to making reservations on the phone. We're trying to do everything in our power to just give them, all the necessary information they need to be able to, create the username, create the password, be able to access the website and make their tea times online. So, we're definitely improving that, and continuously working on ways to get people more actively doing that. So, but all in all, I think, the building itself is in good shape. We do have the cleaning crew. Lisa hired a cleaning company. The guy's a great guy. He does a fantastic job. I am very pleased with, everything that he does. Rich Lavasser, I think is his name, but he does a fantastic job. He's there every day. And the bathrooms look great. So I'm sure everybody's going to be very happy with that. So I think that was a plus.
He and his wife, just so you're aware of it, they actually work for public buildings in the town. They do Veterans Park bathrooms and they do the senior center. So they were already on staff. They're not a company. They were already on staff at the town. And they're actually employees of the public buildings director, who is Donna Ford. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's there promptly on time, and he does a good job.
They're great. They're nice people.
Yeah, I think everybody's, I've had multiple comments on the bathrooms are great. So, I don't know if we also, I'm not sure, our roof isn't leaking, but I did want to mention, remember, we have a couple tiles on our roof. So if we do, we're doing something with the roofing down there, it's just to mention that, over the storms over this past year, we did lose some roof shingles on our roof too, on the building. So I just wanted to mention that. I'm not sure if that's something that just can be patched up. But we could talk about that, Lisa.
Yeah.
And
be perfect time.
do that on the report. But yeah, I know I just noticed you were doing the roof down there at the restaurant though. Yeah, other than that, we're just, we did have some, we do have some challenges these days with tournaments, particularly with the rental fleet. We have Dave Bennett, who's no longer in the rental fleet business. So he's no longer renting carts. He's just 100% cart sales and restorations and so forth. So Mickey Hawks has a limited amount. So obviously, manufacturing and a host of different arenas and businesses are being impacted by, supply issues. So our carts are getting more difficult to rent. So we did acquire some carts for the Knights tournament coming up out of state.
On that.
So I did have to go out of state to do that, but I do have a company that's willing to give us the 24 carts. So luckily it was crazy because I literally requested 24 and he said he only had 24 left for that day because the TPC tournament is that week. So we got to him just at the right moment, which was fortunate because, we didn't want to, first and foremost, we didn't want to have to limit our field for the tournament. Obviously it's a huge community event.
Yeah.
And it's obviously important to their fundraising as well as, the business itself. I mean, it's a profitable day for the golf course as well. So I'm glad that I can report that we will be able to meet the demand of the players for that event. And that was upward of over 100 players. So.
So
but
why did Dave Bennett go out?
Go and put him on these things.
it's really just supply. He can't purchase carts. There's
Okay.
no
No
purchasing
inventory.
right now. Just
Yeah,
it's such a low supply right now
Gotcha.
in the market that you can't, and the
Yeah.
prices, he said, has just been so inflated that
yeah,
it's
that
like he
makes
can't do it.
sense.
There's no money in it. So yeah, unfortunate, but he said if things change, we'll go back to what we used to do, but yeah, right now he's not entertaining any of that rentals
Wow.
anymore. So, but we're doing our best with making sure that everything is run properly. The staff is there, the rangers and starters. I'm continuously looking for part-time people that can help us with starting and being rangers. It's difficult to get anybody right now that wants to work for basically minimum wage. It's a very challenging time right now to get help. I think for a host of reasons that I'm sure you're all aware of.
Yep.
But we're continuously looking. In fact, I spoke with someone today that I requested, if he was interested. He's recently retired for the city of Waterbury. And I asked him if he would be interested in being a starter or ranger for us. He's done it in the past at some of the Waterbury courses, and he said that he would get back with me in the next couple of days. So, we're plugging along. We're plugging along. We're doing our best with just trying to get day-to-day activities, get everything done. Provide good services for the customers, and I think everybody's pulling their weight right now. I think we're doing a great job. So I look forward to just keeping this momentum going. That's really the goal here, is just to keep the momentum going and have another great year like last year. And that's my report.
Great. I have one question, going back to the Knights tournament. First off, Tony said you did a fantastic job finding him those carts. But he wanted to know, now when it comes to paying for those carts, do the Knights write the check directly to the cart company?
They can do that, yes.
Okay. All right. And then we will make sure there's a credit for, I'm talking about the $30 that they're charged per two of those carts that they rent. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I can explain it better later. Okay, so then, all right, so then I can tell Tony that, yes, they're gonna write that check for those extra 24 carts directly to the cart company. Okay. Thank you, that's all I really had. Thank you, and let's just keep the ball rolling. We're moving in great direction, so that's great. We'll move on. There's nobody here from the restaurant.
We're still right now.
Okay.
Okay, so restaurant,
Nobody. There's no business. Move on to new business. So at least I have to apologize. I was wrong about what I said earlier. But there are two. I don't have the second one.
Okay.
New business A is the St. Mary Magdalene School Tournament, Friday, September 17th, 2021. It's for, they're figuring approximately 100 golfers. So it needed to come in front of us. They will be using a restaurant. They're asking for an 8 a.m. tea time.
There's two of them.
There's two, okay. And then shotgun star, no large cups. Sunset grill, yes. No pavilion.
What time were they requesting?
8 a.m. So they'll be in and out by 2. And then a rain date of September 24th. So then I don't see any problems. And I'll make a motion that we accept the St. Mary Magdalene School golf tournament on September 17th, the rain date is September 24th. We'll forward it down to you, and then you can take it over from there. Have a second? Chris is on mute.
I'm here, I'm sorry.
Okay, can I get a second on that golf tournament?
Second.
All-
It's different pause button now.
Okay. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, so that one passes. And on new business B, a tournament to benefit Alzheimer's disease. This is for August of 21, August, well, that's messed up. Date of outing, August 19th. Second choice, August 7th. Unless that's a rate. Is it, okay, Anthony Pisani. Request was, I don't, hold on, let me see, I don't even know what day that is. August 19th is a Thursday. August 7th is a Saturday.
Three holes in a row.
I like the August 9th. We'll go with the 19th because that's what you got, was just date of outing.
What was the second date? You got
August 7th. It's before the first date. So, just bear with me for a minute. I'm just letting Lisa want to take a look at it. See? He's from Charlie's from Watertown.
And the first one is the 7th?
No, the first one's August. Day and date of outing is August 19th. Second choice date is August 7th.
Oh, okay, so, no, because we're giving them, it's not a rain date necessarily, it's an option that his first choice would be the 19th.
Okay, okay. Has this gone anywhere? Has this just come to us? Has John seen this or anything?
She would have it, she's supposed to check off who she's talked to down here, usually she's supposed to check off
Okay, there's nothing.
when it gets to you guys.
There's nothing done.
So what's the date on the 28th? So this just came
The
in,
19th,
no, the date it came in.
28th, last
Yeah, so it
week.
just came in the end of last week, so I don't know. if
I haven't even seen it nor heard of it yet.
Okay,
And Jess wasn't in today, so,
Okay.
and Monday was.
I can
a
look at it
holiday.
this week.
Yeah,
okay.
Handle
so
that.
why don't you prove it pending it goes
To
before the Golf Pro and
Okay.
before the
Restaurant,
restaurant and the
okay.
and
Okay.
the parks foreman, okay?
So, this is from Southern Connection Group is a volunteer. So this is a full, this is the one I was thinking of when I talked.
But it is.
But it's a full bowl.
It is.
Yeah,
And
okay.
they did submit
They're W9.
their information here, so you know that they are a
All
nonprofit.
right, so I will make a motion that we accept the Alzheimer's Association golf tournament submitted by Anthony Pisani upon approval through our golf pro. Moving forward, that's what, next,
Well, it would be all three of them, because down, the three that are listed
here,
on
yeah,
here. Golf professional, the
the
restaurant,
grill.
and the course superintendent.
Okay, then,
I don't foresee it being a problem, but I'll just look at the date. I don't
definitely.
recall if we have something else
so
on that.
the
on
golf
that
pro's gotta look at it, the Sunset Grill's gotta look at it, and the golf superintendent will look at it. All right, they made the motion, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It moves. Then I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approved. Chris, quick question. Are you gonna be here for the second meeting?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, there or online?
or online, doesn't matter, either or.
Yeah, online.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. You want this on record?
Chris Martin, can you hear me before we start? Chris?
Yes, I can. Yes,
Are you,
I can.
are you all set for your event coming up?
for this weekend.
Yeah.
With about 600 phone calls today. No.
If you need anything last minute, just let us know.
I will. No, it's just making the determination with the weather coming in, and you know
'cause
they're
it's gonna
trying to
be
push
so
the high
hot?
school games up. No,
Because it's gonna be so
it's rain
hot.
tomorrow.
Oh,
No, with the rain.
okay. It's 7:01. You can start. We'll wait for you.
Call the meeting to order, the Watertown Park and Recreation Commission, full commission regular meeting. Roll call, please, can you read the
What
names?
time did you call the meeting?
7 o'clock.
Okay, Bill Dunstan,
Here.
Ken LaRosa,
Here,
Chris Martin,
Here.
Peg Germain.
I am here.
Okay, Jack Donahue, he's not on yet.
Jack
Okay.
can attend. He said he'll know last minute if he can join
He
in.
might be joining in. There's a vacancy and Pat Rinaldi called out earlier tonight. Others present. The host, is that still you, Lauren?
Still me.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have anybody for public participation? Or anybody out there for public participation? And third time, is there anybody for public participation? Seeing as there's nobody answering the call, we'll close public participation. Approval of the minutes for May 6, 2021, regular meeting.
I will make a motion to accept the minutes of May 6, 2021.
I'll second that.
And are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or comments on May 6, 2021 regular meeting minutes? If there are none, all those in favor of accepting?
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Motion carried to accept the minutes of May 6, 2021. Correspondence. And we had a few pieces of correspondence that we had over the, most of them were already sent in the email, Mary. And the first one was to Mark Remo from Lisa Carew, Veterans Memorial Park Public Press Rooms. Okay, you had a chance to read them. Obviously, we had a major catastrophe up there. And people that did the work up there said it shouldn't have happened. And they can only surmise that it was probably materials that were substandard that failed, that normally wouldn't fail. But being septic and sewer, you can't let it go. It has to be repaired. It is something that is a must. So Lisa's requesting from the Public Buildings Department in the amount of $10,942 for the emergency work that was done.
No, it's requesting to the town council to
Council appropriating
the money.
but from the Public Buildings Department because it is a public building up there.
Right, but we're asking the council for the money.
Council for the money. Okay.
So,
The next couple pages were just the copies of the invoices from Stony Brook Construction, a Watertown firm that did the work. And an electrician, Joe Santos, who had to go up and once everything, new pumps and floats and everything were installed, had to do all the electrical hookup. All that stuff is, when you realize now run by electrical pumps. And those electrical pumps are tied into emergency switches and things like that to let you know if tanks are full and need to be pumped. So you don't have a problem of an overfilled tank, which in public is very important because depending on the usage, you have a summer with a lot of sun and a lot of events going on up there. They're going to fill up a lot quicker than.
they're city sewer.
No.
It's city sewer, so the new
Breaks it
system,
down, but still.
it's gonna have the grinders and everything else that the old system didn't have. So
So that's the first section of the,
That goes before the council this coming Monday, just so you know.
the second one is something we've done over the years. And it's from the USDA insect traps at Veterans Memorial Park. Basically, it's just us granting them permission to put these insect traps in for survey study. They monitor the different types of bugs and things that are caught by these, and they keep them away from the heavy traffic areas. You know, they're more out in the woods areas, so they keep monitor of the area of what invasive species are here. And I'm sure they catch a lot of the things that are known to the area. So it's just a way of them keeping control for the US government about what the bugs are doing and looking into the future about what the state may have to do or the federal government may have to do, if anything, to control a species that's starting to get out of hand. And basically, I guess they've dealt with somebody for a long time. John Bruno is well versed in this, and they've let us know that there's going to be a new person doing it. So again, that's just for information. Next one, Watertown Dog Park donations. And this has been something Lisa started from day one. Because over the years, there's been some talk about, where the town took the money, it's gone now. It's not. It was set up in a special fund. And this is the accounting of that fund. So as of 5/18, we've collected $25,570.67. In the regular agenda, under old business, I have a dog park update. And at that point, we will discuss why I wanted this information out there. And it says, the next one is the Watertown Food Bank, okay, for pet food donations. So again, that's information. And again, part of that flyer that put out, they put the donation amount for the Watertown Dog Park where we need it to be, and it says approximately 22,000 more.
Okay, so that flyer that he's making reference to, we made 1,500 copies in color, and that went out to anybody who has a dog and who's getting their license renewed. That went into the packet that was sent out by the clerk's office, so that's what was in there.
Okay. Now,
Tired of getting beat up on Facebook.
okay. Correspondence that you did not receive
Because they just came through.
to Mark Rainbow, Town Manager, from Lisa Carew. Crestbrook Park Tennis Courts name. And this is going before the commission again this Monday night.
Council.
Council. The Watertown Parks and Recreation Commission unanimously recommends the town council consider naming the Crestbrook Park Tennis Courts the Jack Staver Tennis Courts in honor and memory of John Staver. The public tennis courts are scheduled for rehabilitation beginning the week of June 7th, 2021. It is the commission's request to have the courts named in conjunction with their reopening. Mr. Staver left a sizable perpetual endowment to the Recreation Department when he passed away in 2018. The commission members thought it most fitting the courts be named after Jack, who played there daily. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'm available to answer any questions or concerns. So this is going before the town council, and
On Monday.
real quick, if you can see it, let me get a little closer. Pictures taken of the current conditions. Let's see if you can
Back up.
They're terrible.
back up. You can see the white spots or patches. And this photo here, second one, it's a little hard, it's overhead, but it's sort of even, the picture itself is whited out. It's very hard to see. So if you can go off of this picture, especially down the end by my fingers, you can see those are all different patches that have been made over the years. So
They're
that's
terrible.
what's gonna be repaired and be like brand new.
In a couple weeks, they'll be beautiful.
So again, this is going before the town council for naming. It's something we discussed at the last meeting, but that's the information, so you know that it is going, what we decided last meeting is going up before the town council.
And what's important to remember is that money is in the general fund. Okay, it's in this current budget that we're in, not the next one, it's in right now, the money's all encumbered. And because it's the only public courts in the town of Watertown, and we didn't ask to use the Staver money or anything like that, that is the taxpayers' money that are paying to get those courts repaired. Okay? I just want everybody to know that because there's.
Yeah, people are gonna question
Yeah.
us where money came from, and
It's in the budget. It's been appropriated in the budget to repair.
something to do. I mean, if it hadn't been for the weather last fall, probably would have had it done last fall, but the work that's being done is very weather sensitive. They have to,
That's exactly why it couldn't get done.
they have to do, things have to be in a certain heat range for so many days, humidity and everything like that, so they are very labor intensive. Okay, that was it for correspondence. Any question on our correspondence tonight? None? Okay, we'll move on to reports. The Park and Recreation Commission Chairman's report. Well, Memorial Day Parade went off without a hitch. It was much smaller and toned down from previous years, but it was a parade. It was good to see people out there, and for the people that marched in the parades, you know, it was very nice. I would think the biggest group, I think, was the Watertown Little League with their various factions. I must say that the Swift band was much better than the high school band. Swift band was very upbeat in marching. Okay, Peg, no feather in your cap, you motivated the kids in the band. I'm sure it was you. The high school band was sort of drab and whatever. The fire department was next biggest, you know, with all their trucks. Some of the groups that normally aren't there, like a lot of the Naval Army groups, they only had like one Army truck there. They did have the flyover, C-5 cargo plane made a pass over Watertown. So the thing was pretty good. Parks and the ball fields this year have been excellent. I've done a lot of umpiring in Watertown. And the facilities that have been just outstanding. So John Bruno and the guys deserve a pat on the back. Along, Kenny's gonna mention the same thing about Ray Marks and the golf course, because the town facilities are really, really great shape. We're gonna be talking a little bit later about the dog park update. And that's about it for the chairman's report. We're coming into a hot summer, able to have a lot more of things we didn't have last year, programs and stuff like that. So Lisa and the staff this year are trying to fit in as much as they possibly can. And there's still that fear of the COVID. People are still hesitant. A lot of people being vaccinated and getting the full vaccination has certainly lightened up the load off of everybody's shoulders. People, you can talk to now, just the general air about people now is more relaxed. People aren't uptight. People aren't, you know, ready to chew and bite your head off. So I expect, well, at certain points, we're always going to have that, but it's calming down a lot. So I'm looking forward to a great summer with the Park and Recreation, and some of the major things that Lisa will talk about in her report, at Correspondence especially, is very encouraging. So I'll close that and go to the Park and Recreation Director's report.
Okay. So, thank you. So my report for this evening is I'm requesting later during this meeting, the commission seriously consider my recommendation to use some of the Jack Staver endowment funds to finish the dog park. It is considered to be, if this is considered, it needs to be added to the town council agenda for their June 21st meeting so the process can begin. As you know, we've already raised around a little short of 26,000. There's, you know, it comes in and people are donating to it, but we need to get to that hurdle. And I'm assuming that the price of the fence is probably going to go up even higher because everything is escalated right now. The fuel is going up, so just everything is going up. So I'm anticipating there's going to be an increased fee to this. So it would have to go out to bid. We've had lots of people suggesting different alternatives. It's what we have to use. is what was approved at the Planning and Zoning Commission, but that is my recommendation, that we use some of that money and get that project done. As Billy said, I will be attending Monday's June 7th Town Council meeting. I'm requesting an appropriation of $10,942 for emergency work that was done up at Betts Park for the public restrooms. I'm asking also, Bill has it right here, that requesting the commission add to the agenda this evening under new business, a request for a food truck for the VFW 7330 annual car show. This request was just made the other day. So another food truck request. Special events, the Watertown History Museum had their 100th anniversary on the dedication of the World War I monument at the Watertown gazebo on Friday, the 21st. This department assisted. The Memorial Day Parade was held this past Monday. Like Billy already went on and talked about it. At Crestbrook, everyone at the course has been very, very busy, and it's appreciated. The swimming pool is getting acid washed this Saturday. It's emptied or being emptied right now. Once it cures, the acid wash cures, it will get painted and then filled. It is anticipated will be opening approximately June 17th or the 18th, as soon as the kids are getting out of school. The town tennis courts we're going to be starting the rehab on Monday. They're going to be getting in there sometime start tomorrow over the weekend to power wash them. They are going to be kind of the colors of Mets. They're going to be orange with a light blue with the white lines. I checked with Glenn Lagaria from the CIAC. It's perfectly fine to use these colors for the high school level. And I think they're going to be dynamite when they're done. And I also have windscreens that I'm going to be having made. If we get them named after Jack, I have windscreens that I've already gotten prices on.
Let's go Mets.
Well, it's
That's a Met fan for you.
It's funny because Paul Catuccio, who I adore because he used to work for me, he was one of my head coach for the swim team. When I first told him about my intention of making them Watertown orange, he was like, oh, they blend into the environment right now. They're all green, they blend in. And I said, no, we need something that's going to be boom, okay? And then I guess in the meantime, he was down looking at the ones, or he saw the ones that they have down in Naugatuck, which they have burgundy or the dark maroon color with gray. And all of a sudden Paul's like, oh, can we change the blue to gray? And it's like, nah, it's already been ordered. So, but they're gonna look fabulous when they're done. So this is the trend to use the colors, they're gonna be really nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's long overdue. Like Bill said, this was supposed to happen last fall. The weather turned. You have to have consistently at least 50 degrees at night for the paint. It's having a special sealant added onto it, so it's gonna last longer. But it really should have been done last year, so the kids would have had nice playing courts this spring. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it because of the weather. So another big project that's happening up at the golf course is the path from the upper parking lot to the swimming pool is finally going to be made. What's going to happen though is it's going to impact, you're going to see a lot more of the area that you've never seen before because it's got trees. But there's, by the corner by the restaurant, a lot of those trees are going to be removed to make this path. And they're going to start this coming week or next week. I'm not sure about the vendor. Coachiola has the contract. He's hiring the people to come in and take the trees out. This is a major safety factor for us. Right now, you literally have to walk all the way around to get down to that area. So this is going to make it more direct, but it's going to be also safe. And also some of the trees are kind of encroaching on the roof of the restaurant. So we don't want anything going through the top of the restaurant.
After we do a new roof on the restaurant, then have a tree fall down.
Well, and I talked about it the last meeting. Another project that's in the budget as of July 1 is that we have, I have money in there to replace the roof at the restaurant. So I'm hoping, I don't know what's going to happen when it goes out to bid because the materials I'm sure are going to be very costly because of everything going on, but I do have the roof replacement in the budget coming up. My first choice would be metal, but because of everything going on, I don't know what's gonna happen with the business. So, as far as the parks and the greenways, Bill also touched on this, our maintenance guys have been very, very busy grooming the fields for the kids and getting them back outside. The Oakville Green flagpole is finally fixed. There was a winch inside of the internal halliards for the pole, and it snapped. And the problem is if it was just a direct line from the top of the pole down to where the opening is on the side, it would have been no problem. But there's been so many things, attachments been added to that pole over the course of the years. There's the lights, there's up lights, down lights, and there's also the speakers for the sound system. So it was a lot more interesting trying to get that fixed than you can imagine. But it's getting done, and it's thank you to our parks foreman and public buildings, and also Dave Brownlee from the fire department, because every time they need to get to the top of that pole, they have to use the ladder truck. So they have Tower 1 is down there in the center of Oakville fixing it. So thank you to Dave Brownlee and the fire department. Just so you know, someone with a different sense of humor plugged in the Christmas lights on the green the other night. It was found, and I guess that's one of the things on Facebook also that's fun. But John was able to, he figured it out. They shouldn't have even been able to be turned on because the plug. So I asked him if we can maybe get some locks for the control boxes on the green. So you know the Board of Ed and the Park and Rec, the Board of Ed, it was actually Lisa Feckety who wrote the grant, but the grant has been awarded to the Board of Ed, and they're in the lead position this summer for a joint project with summer program where the children will get additional school, but then they'll be able to take part in Park and Rec programs. So they were just awarded this grant the other day. So it's, congratulations to the Board of Ed, and it's going to definitely help us out. The summer brochure, you know, is out, and the new website is up and running. So that's why you have a difference there. I'd really like to thank my staff and all the staff, everybody who works for us, but the staff in the office has been assisting after the retirements of our senior center coordinator and dispatcher. Mary Tremaglio in our office has been calling the seniors since Catherine Dinsmore and Phyllis Shire left for their retirements. Mary's been calling them and checking in with them on a regular basis and answering any questions they might have. Carrie Godfrey, our assistant director, has been handling phone calls for the senior buses every day. Bob Wills and Gino Spadafor, our bus drivers, have been making sure all of our seniors are getting to their destinations during the entire pandemic. I mean, they were going out as early as like 5:30 in the morning when the stores were opening up just to make sure the seniors were able to go grocery shopping. They've been helping with doctor's appointments, grocery store visits, et cetera. It's been a long 15 months, and especially since January with the retirements of Catherine and Phyllis. And I really have to thank everybody in the office because they've made it as easy as possible under bad circumstances. I mean, it's again, I mean, everybody's tired of it and we just want to move ahead. I really appreciate it, and their help and support is greatly appreciated. As our social services division, the food bank has been busy. The renter's moratorium is ending, so from my knowledge that public buildings is getting swamped with evictions now, and it is the town's responsibility to house the contents of an apartment or house for a period of time. So it's, from what I understand, that's every time we're trying to get the person who's trying to do work down at the senior center to get them reopened, he's being pulled in a couple different directions, getting them done. Lastly, I sent it out to everybody so you all know that we did hire a new senior center coordinator. She started on June 1st. There will be a soft reopening of the center on June 15th and an official grand reopening on June 30th. And just so you know, I will be meeting with the town manager tomorrow to get the other position that's vacated, posted. So that's my report. But part two is I have this assistant director's report. This is from Carrie Godfrey, the assistant director. Our summer 2021 activities are now available. Registration started and they can sign up on our new website. The community seems very excited and anxious for summer camp. They have completed new summer staff interviews and all summer staff acceptance letters were mailed out. A few new classes started. One is Fall to You Fall, Youth Karate, babysitting classes, boating courses, and Cheers to You. They all had great attendance. Our very successful Watertown Recreation Swim Team spring and conditioning clinic continued through the month of May. We had just under 50 swimmers continue to develop their competitiveness in anticipation of the next winter season. The interest in the Watertown Farmers Market is growing. We've had a number of applications and look forward to another season of fresh produce and craft items starting in July. Mark the date, this Saturday, June 5th, is the townwide tax sale. Maps are available here at the office. Gale's Farm Shop, Adams Supermarket, Watertown Meat Center, Tony's Seafood, LeBon's Market, and at the office. She said at this point, when she wrote this, she had 63 registered, and I know it's way beyond that. And it's also, I think there was 80 something that we finished with, and it's in today's Town Times, and it'll be in the Waterbury paper for the listings. So if you have an opportunity this weekend, you can go out tax sailing, or you can go up and watch Chris and having their tournament up at Vets Park. So that's my report.
Two quick things on Lisa's report. First of all, what she said about everybody in staff chipping in. John Buno drove a senior center bus in the parade.
Yep, I asked him to do that.
It was tough to me to see John in a bus, but I'm used to seeing him on a lawnmower. Thought he looked a little bit out of place, but he had a big smile on his face as he waved at
He was
everybody.
leaving everybody, and he did me a huge favor. They had to move 4 golf carts that morning. He and Rob moved 4 golf carts down to the plaza for the council and the board of ed members that chose to ride. And so I had asked the bus drivers, could anybody, and Bobby Wills is on the Veterans Council, so he couldn't do it. And Gino already had plans. They were going out of town. So I said, you're there. I said, would you consider doing it? And he's like, of course. So, I mean, they're great guys. They're all wonderful people that work for us. So, yeah, so John Bono was, and actually the new senior center coordinator was in the bus with them. She was in there. I don't know if you can see her.
She was sitting at one point, was sitting on this thing on the door, the steps in the door.
Yeah, she was there waving at everybody. So she was in the bus, so.
If you get a chance to stop down and meet Laura, very, very nice.
Yeah, very, very nice. It's not open yet, so just.
Yeah, so we got the soft opening on the 15th and then the hard opening on the 30th, so, when we get past those dates there, but she has a very impressive resume and great people skills, so she's a good fit for the job. Before we move on to the subcommittee reports, I'd like to make a motion under new business C to add food truck approval or disapproval for the VFW Post 7730 Women's Auxiliary event at.
I'll second your motion.
Oh, was that Chris?
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, so under new business C, we'll discuss the food bar. Now we'll go back to subcommittee reports. Kenny, golf course subcommittee.
All right, well, as you know, the golf course is open, it's up and running. In talking with both Ray, who's doing a great job up there with his crew, and Jan, and my own personal opinion, the course looks fantastic. It's in great shape. They aerated greens a couple of weeks ago. I thought we were gonna have a bumpy week. They did something different, I think worked perfect. They, instead of putting 3/4 inch holes in the course, they put needle-sized holes in the greens. They played beautifully. I lost my train of thought.
That's me.
So we're all in agreement, of course, in great shape, except for it's a little wet. We're getting 2.5 days of rain. We're gonna hold some water, but it played dry last week. I don't know how Chris, if it played dry tonight or not, but I really can't complain. And I will say today, and just moving on, as of right now, it probably won't go up much. We have 141 season passes sold. We may pick a few up when we go half price on July 15th for the second half of the season. But I think that's pretty good considering it's more than we've had in the last few years. I think that tells us we could be heading in the right direction also with the course, and because we lost quite a few passes over the years as we made some unfavorable decisions up there. As far as golf tournaments go, we currently have 8 on the books. We have 1 tentative, and after tonight, hopefully we'll have 2 more. So we'll be up to 10 tournaments on the books and 1 more that we're looking into it. They gotta see if they can get it up and running or if not. So that's good. Ray also commented his new mechanic is working, doing great. He does feel it's going to take him up to a year, a little longer to really get into the groove of how things work up there and get used to a lot of the equipment that he will be working on. Jan mentioned that the cart storage area has a little in disrepair. I'd like to see if we can get it leveled, make it a little easier on our carts coming in and out of there. Business has been very strong this year, and a huge influx of new golfers, along with us older golfers. It's going to be great for the game. The fact that the PGA Tour and the LPGA are all doing great also, and it's bringing new faces to the game. That's really, I think, about it. Yeah, that's about it. Any questions? I'll answer. If not, back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Kenny. Community Senior Services Center Needs Assessment Committee. Okay, we have not heard anything back from the architects working on it. The last information that Lisa gave them and we were there and went over a lot of things. The man that's handling it was in North Carolina, I believe. His daughter had a baby very beginning of May. And he assumed he'd be back in Connecticut by the beginning of June. I mean, there was a lot of information there that he did process and give us a preliminary, and there was a lot more questions that we discussed and went over in a conference call with them. So we're waiting to hear back. Lisa did request for me a copy of the needs assessment for the police department, because I wanted to be able to compare apples for apples, knowing that what the price tags on them are, and to see if there were any shared things that we could possibly do together to bring the total costs of both down and make it more palatable to the voters, instead of paying X amount for one set of parking lot and another one, if you could do it all together. Knowing that, again, the timing on it would have to be both buildings at the same time being constructed, not do one and do parking lot and then expect the pricing to hold for the next one. So a lot of the stuff being done together would be hinged on both sets of projects starting at the same time, which now that's a bonding thing with the town, and a lot of behind the scenes work that has to be done to accomplish certain things like that to work in unison. So basically right now it's with the architectural firm answering more questions and starting to, dot I's and cross T's, and, there's been no actual building plan as of yet. That still has to be worked on. So we're still a good 18 to 24 months out.
I don't want to give any kind of timetable, because I actually met this morning. Bill doesn't know this. We had a staff meeting this morning, department head meeting, and afterwards we were just the police chief, the town manager, myself, and I reached out to the architectural firm and asked him if there's any kind of update, not just for this meeting, but also for my boss. And I have not heard back from him yet. So there's no time frame, there's no timetable, there's nothing as of right now, because there's a lot more that has to happen before it even gets, believe me, there's a whole slew of stuff that has to go before the public buildings or the council, whoever is gonna be the actual people that are gonna be.
Planning and zoning, wetlands, because there are wetlands at the back edge of the property and all that
So-
stuff.
So we're not anywhere, again, all it is establishing that the facility that we currently have is really beyond its expectations. It's in need of replacement. So that's all we're doing at this point, so.
Right now, we got a VW Volkswagen bus, and we're at the level where we should have a Mercedes SUV. Or a Cadillac Escalade, that's
There you go.
the comparison.
Even better.
Okay, all right, before, go on to old business, dog park update, as Lisa said,
That's under.
in the correspondence we put out, we collected approximately $26,000 towards the fence. Okay, Lisa has secured a lot of the other individual things, water things for the dogs, various fire hydrants.
No, but
Things.
the water fountain,
Yep.
the water line has been brought in, it's city water, the water line's been brought in, so there's things that have been done.
The biggest thing is the fencing, that's what this cost is all about.
But you've
I
been
mean, all
carrying
the
on for
permits,
10 years.
planning and zoning, inland wetlands, everything paper-wise is set to go, except the money to put the fence together. So, a lot of people, I should say a lot of people, some people are grousing about where the money is and what happened to it. And Kenny reminded me the other day that we're possibly a good 5 years into this. And there's been a lot of
More
questions.
than that,
And now I've had several reports, and I've seen it, people up at Veterans using field number 3 because it's gated. Take the dog off a leash and let them run in the field out there. People, I'm sure Chris, his groups play softball up on that field a lot. You know, I'm sure
Yeah,
there's been some ways about dog poop.
Yeah, there's a lot of dog poop on it.
Yep, and you know, that's neat, and it's convenient for people to do it because we don't have the dog park. I've also been informed that down by the tennis courts now at Crestbrook is starting to become a favorite dog park, individual dog park for people. So, I mean, we were at one former town council chairman, Tom Wynn, had promised us 1 year about money, and it never happened. And realize now with the budget and things that are going on that we need to look beyond that. So that being said, I'd like to add under D, new business, discussion on using the Jack Staver Fund to finish the dog park.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, so under D, new business, we'll discuss using the Jack Staver Fund. So I'll close the old business for now. Any questions we can bring up under D. New business A, the St. Mary Magdalene School Tournament, Friday, September 17th, 2021. Can you have the,
All right, we brought this up at the subcommittee meeting. We approved the subcommittee meeting. So at this moment, I'm going to make a motion that we accept the St. Mary Magdalene School Tournament for Friday, September 17th, 2021, with a rain date of September 24th, 2021.
I second that.
okay, any further discussion?
So who made the motion? Oh, okay.
Kenny made a motion, Chris seconded it. I'm sorry, we're going a little fast, slow down.
Go ahead.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the St. Mary Magdalene School Tournament for Friday, September 17th, with the rain date of September 24th?
Aye.
Right.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Kenny, D?
All right, also at the earlier meeting, we approved a tournament, a golf tournament to benefit Alzheimer's disease with a few stipulations. And at this moment, I will make a motion that we accept the tournament to benefit the Alzheimer's disease with the stipulations that it gets the restaurant's approval for the date, the pro will sign off on it and follow through on the rest of the tournament from here.
Second on that motion?
I'll
I'll second
second.
that.
Okay. Are there any questions, Kenny? Basically, it's a quick application, and normally they've already contacted the restaurant and the golf pro to make sure that the date that they are requesting is applicable and it's usable dates for both those people. So Kenny said with the stipulation, once they approve it, then we can send the people that are doing this benefit for Alzheimer's disease our stamp of approval. So those are the two stipulations. So all those in favor?
I,
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carried. All right, go on to new business C. Food truck for the VFW Post 7330 Women's Auxiliary. Okay, that's the Oakville Post down on Davis Street. Okay.
The annual car show.
Hmm?
It's the annual car show.
Yeah, it's their annual car show up at Veterans Park. Okay, they have dates of either June 26th or 27th being a rain date. Okay. And they're asking, and my recommendation is, we've been doing these on a per permit basis. And we've allowed a food truck, not multiple trucks, one food truck for the previous ones that we've approved. And again, it has to follow all the rules. The biggest one being that all the permits and everything are turned in at least a week before the Park and Rec Department. If not, then the food truck's not gonna be allowed, because the Park and Rec Department has to be able to follow up to make sure these permits are all good. So they can't turn a permit on Friday for a Saturday event. And we've stipulated that in the past, that the rules are strictly adhered to as far as the certification of the different groups, Torrington Board of Health, and anything with the state of Connecticut health districts. So any further discussion on it?
Oh, no, thanks.
Anybody else have any questions?
That was like a couple years ago, they weren't trying to do anything, right?
I didn't hear that.
that wasn't Chris,
Oh,
this background.
No questions.
okay, so
So you need a motion.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the request for a food truck for VFW Post 7330 Auxiliary
Second
Car
it.
Show at Veterans Park. Contingent on the rules of the food truck being met. Next.
I second that.
Chris, I got you.
Okay, so
Thank
Chris said that. Okay. Any further questions?
Yeah,
No?
I just want
Okay.
to, just under that motion, can we give them the date of all the information of 6/18, which is the close of business that Friday before?
Yeah, we can certainly,
So that way it'll show up Monday,
yeah,
still think that, it gives us a chance to get it in, have it Monday morning, they can start working on it.
absolutely. Got to give the staff the time to make sure that any of the applicable permits. That was the whole idea about having the week.
We're gonna need an extra person just to do this stuff, just so you know. So what day?
Close of business 6/8, which is Friday the
All
18th.
information needs to be in rec department by when?
Close of business on Friday, June 18th.
At least if, with the amount of people that we need, we can back it up 2 days to the Wednesday before.
Yeah.
No, we can certainly take, the time span from 1 week and make it 10 days. If that helps the department.
No, it's,
This is just last minute, that's.
yeah, this just came in, and we've tried to help these guys out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, if it,
Right.
and they should have, last minute, they should have all this stuff reviewed. Okay, are there any other questions or comments? No? Okay, all those in favor?
I,
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carried for the VFW Post Women's Auxiliary 7330.
Beautiful,
And,
thank you.
and the last thing, D, Jack Staver Fund to finish the dog park. And because of the amount, it's gonna have to go before the town council.
Any amount, wait, just so you know, for future, the fiscal entity for the town of Watertown is the town council. So it would be just for future, for any time you want to use any money out of there, this commission will make a recommendation, director will write a letter, goes to the council, but they have the final say, just so you guys know.
Okay. The, have it prepared, and if we vote yes, I'd like to have Lisa try to make sure that it would be on their meeting for June 21st.
Right. That's
You
it.
know, try to hit the June 21st meeting, and if we get their approval, then Lisa can start putting it out to bid. I mean, now, it's obviously, the warm of the summer is the perfect time to be doing defense work.
Right.
And then we can start tying it in, once we can get approvals on all of this, start tying it into the monthly packet that we put out from Park and Rec, Senior Center. We can start letting a lot of these major donors know through the newspaper that the dog park's finally coming. You know, because there are a lot of people, and they're rightfully so questioning what's taking so long. You know, we've tried everything we could.
Those same people need to make a donation.
Yeah. We've tried everything we could at the town council level to get money in the budget. We were promised money in the budget by a former town council chairperson, and nothing happened. So this way here, first of all, was the intention of Jack Staver for projects like this. So it falls right in line with what Jack Staver's intentions were. A capital improvement project that's gonna benefit the people of Watertown. I know a lot of people don't have dogs, but a lot of people do. So, and like I said, our parks, and like I said, Chris attested to a lot of dog poop on one of the fields that his girls team uses up there. And not just that field, because it's fenced, but all over the park. And then this way here, we can start getting people to use the dog park and get dogs out of the regular parks. And again, my fear always, even though the dog owner is responsible, you know, somebody going by, a young kid screaming or shrieking in joy or happiness, and the dog snapping at him. It's always been a fear of mine to try to get the dogs away from the people and let the dogs be the dogs where the dogs are. So are there any questions or comments about using the Jack Staver Fund to finish the fencing for the dog park?
Did you put the motion in?
Open up.
Do we
Did you
have a
make
motion?
I make a motion.
Did you, Bill, make a motion on that?
No, he didn't.
No, you didn't.
What, Peg
You
has a
started talking
question.
about it. No, you're right, Peg, you didn't make a motion. You started talking about
Right,
it.
I'll make a motion that we use the Jack Staver Fund, part of the funds from the Jack Staver Fund, to finish the fencing for the dog park,
No, just to complete the dog park.
or complete the dog park.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay.
And I do have a question. Do we have a figure? Amount of money that will be needed?
No, we have a figure that's old,
Yes.
that was before all this happened with what's going on. I'm anticipating it was around $47,000 was the quote to have over the fencing that the planning and zoning wanted. It was a quote, it's a couple of years old now, we were using that as a guide. But everything that's going on right now with the cost of everything going up, I'm gonna anticipate that it's probably gonna go up. One of the things I would ask you to do while you're in this motion, and I know I probably shouldn't be talking right now, but is you wanna leave that fund, the dog park fund,
Open.
open.
Yes.
You do not wanna close that because there's gonna be things down the road that you're gonna probably wanna add.
Exactly.
So you do not like the parking lot and stuff, because right now, you know, so there's gonna be
Yeah.
amenities that you're gonna wanna add down the road,
Absolutely.
okay?
Yeah.
So, but this would be, it's gonna be a very vague number, because we don't have a number, a current number of how much that fence is gonna come in at. And it's gonna have to go out to bid because it's over $25,000, so it has to go out to bid. So.
So when it goes to the town council, are they going to ask for a figure?
I mean, I can go by old money, but that's not, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be 100% related to, I mean, I don't wanna get up there and have to explain this and say, well, it's, you know, we're at the mercy of what's going on in the economy right now. I mean, the price of gas is gonna be $4 a gallon by July 1st or 4th, and, you know, you're looking at stuff that has to be shipped in and everything else, so it's gonna, I'm sure the price is probably gonna be up. We have a price that we just got for, a piece of equipment for John for up at the Parks Department. And I'm gonna be able to tack on to a, to consortium with the state bidding and the process there, so it doesn't have to go out to bid, but I have to put a request in so we can tack on. And the price went up $1,300 from when I first got the quote, okay? And it's crazy, but that's what's going on. So I'm anticipating that $47,000 is probably gonna escalate, so it's gonna, you know, I don't wanna have to go back to them again, especially for the money that was left to this department, you know, for projects like this. I don't wanna have to go back a second time. But I really think that we don't wanna close that account either, because people are going to make donations towards it. There's donations coming in right now because the 1,300 or 1,500 people that got their dog licenses, and there's people that are making donations. We wanna be able to have money in there, so if a park bench needs to be replaced, you're gonna be able to replace it, and you're not gonna have to sit here for 6 years waiting for, you know, for the funds.
We were talking about having a concrete pad with just like the pavilion up at the lake, where we have a couple picnic tables, something open air like that with shade, where when the dogs are out running, people can sit underneath under the shade. You know, that's why we want to keep the amended. One of the things, when we got the original quote at 47,000,
Plus,
okay,
it was,
we did hear, we had a couple people say, oh, well, back then again, pricing that, oh, we could get it done for a lot cheaper than that. So based on that, hopefully the 47 is a fairly close roundhouse figure now, where, like Lisa said, you know, material costs going up, the shipping to get materials in now. So hopefully at 47, a semi-close ballpark figure. When people were telling us, oh yeah, we could probably knock off 10,000 of that. Well, I think that knock off 10,000, maybe 12,000 up now.
you know what, everybody has some way that they can get it done cheaper.
So you put it on paper.
All I can tell you is the planning and zoning approved a certain product.
Yep. That's
And
what we have to go with.
it's chain link with black, and it's a certain height, and
It would stand a 500-year flood.
yeah, I mean, exactly. So the commissioners that weren't maybe on the board at the time, going to those meetings, it had to be of a certain way, so it could, the
Breakaway.
flood, like a breakaway. And I mean, there was parameters to get that approval. And, you know, I know everybody wants to help, but we have to follow the guidelines and the requirements of the planning and zoning, because that's how it was approved. Again, the facility's in a floodplain, and, you know, we have to accommodate I mean, there was months that we went through the permitting for that thing. So at this point, I'm tired of getting beat up on Facebook about this, to be honest with you. I wish the same people that were on Facebook that were, you know, very critical would make a donation, because it would be nice. Well, I think it's time to move ahead.
Hmm?
Okay, any further discussion? Any questions? No? Okay, we got the motion out there.
Got a second. You
Got a second?
got a second from Meg. Meg seconded it.
Peg seconded it.
Okay, so all those in favor of requesting the town council to use the Jack Staver fund to finish the dog park, all those approved?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Any abstentions? None, okay. We'll get it to the town council next and see what we can do. Okay, we have no other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Chris? Kenny?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Nobody better opposed, nobody better abstain. Thank you, everyone.
So, okay, so we're adjourned, but
Good night. Let's go in
by the
there
next
tomorrow.
meeting, we should be back in person.